Yeah, take two.
Hey guys, this is Otto from Go to Max Lifestyle, and in this show we're gonna interview Kevin Fitzpatrick. Kevin, thanks for coming to our show.
Thanks, Otto. It's good to be here. It's exciting. First video, so it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
So how did we meet? We met in a gym, right?
Yeah. I'm a member of Westwood Gyms. Primary one would be down Sandymount, of the three, and I think we met about 2 years ago. About right, maybe 3. Yeah, probably been that long now. Yeah. And me and Otto have a lot in common. We like training, we like keeping fit, keeping healthy, eating well. Right, we have the same kind of goals, I guess. And I think we just kicked it off from day one. And it's fun. It's fun. It's good to train down in a gym. That the trainers as well as just training. It makes it a bit more meaning to it, I guess. Makes the session a bit easier as well when you have someone there you can talk to, someone you can train with, and I guess that's kind of how me and Otto hit it off. Trying to remember some funny times of the year, I guess, the two of us. Jeez, I tell you, me and Otto can talk for about half an hour in the gym before my session even begins, or an hour, and I could be late for work, and it's we still manage to get a chat in, which is always good. It's fun. And I guess that's kind of how long we've known each other, right? About 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. Kevin, the reason why I actually choose you to talk about exercise, nutrition, and supplementation. You've been a big mentor to me with ideas of supplementing, and I gain a really great respect because you walk the talk. You won 2 gold medals, 1 silver in junior bodybuilding. Is that true? I
did, yeah. I've only been at it now 2 years, to be honest with you. But in my first year, I won the NABA Mr. Ireland, which would be the biggest show in the country. I won the junior class now in that. And then followed by last year, which was my second year, I won the Mr. Northern Ireland, the Muscle Power show. So I've won both of them, and then a silver medal in the fitness category. So fitness is probably not my scene, probably a little bit bigger than that, but I still managed to pull a silver, and it was great, But again, I'm still quite new into it. It's only been 2 years that I've been into this, but I've learned a lot in the last 2 years, having worked with some of the top bodybuilders in the country. I've been to, any great gym in Ireland. I've been to it, at least once. I've got to meet some great guys there, and I've learned a lot. I made a lot of mistakes as well, though, so I've learned from them as well, and hopefully we can talk about some of that stuff today.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to.
Yeah.
And I don't think so. A lot of our listeners, viewers, a lot of my clients would aim for bodybuilding championship, but I know that bodybuilders are so dedicated or crazy.
They can be pretty crazy sometimes.
They definitely get the big results, and that's sometimes what we would want to learn, those tricks of bodybuilders, because they work. Yeah. So what do you think is one of the most important factor to gain muscle mass quickly? That's a tough question to answer. I don't think there's any one approach or one simple answer for it. There's a lot of things you got to do in your week or your day to day. Of course, getting your food in, getting the right amount of food in. Calories in versus calories out is definitely important, because weight training, it burns a lot more calories than I think most people would know. They think it's quite easy, but actually breaking down the muscle and rebuilding it takes quite a lot of calories, far more than the likes of running on a treadmill or or walking. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. So definitely calories, getting enough calories in your day would be probably the key, I guess, answer for that question. Yeah, definitely. For muscle building, yeah. Again, for cutting up as well, losing weight and you know, getting ready for a show, I guess, or even just getting ready for, you know, the beach or a holiday. You know, whatever your goals are, it's all the same. A wedding, yeah. I mean, it's all the same, you know. Yeah, that would be definitely the biggest thing I don't see enough people doing, is getting enough calories and getting enough food in. Definitely, yeah, that could definitely be improved on. And it's such an easy thing as well, you know, to get something like calories in, food. If you just structure your day in a way that you can get those meals in, or meal replacements like protein shakes, you know, weight gainers, anything that, you know, you can get calories in, it just makes it easier. But it's easier than you think to get those type of calories in. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. And well, another part of my question would be supplementation, because a lot of people actually think of it like nearly like evil, and I think they put everything into the same categories. Maybe they think the steroids and the supplements are the same things. Would you say something about the amino acids and their benefits, and the proteins, or having also carbohydrates in the workout, creatine and all sorts of supplementation? Why they would be good? Are they healthy? And is there any point taking supplements?
There's a lot of questions in that.
I know.
Let's start with the you know, is it important? Yeah, I think it is important, you know, to take supplements. Your body runs a lot of amino acids, particularly the likes of glutamine, which is, I'd probably say, one of the most used amino acids in the body. Your brain uses it, your immune system uses it. You know, you can use anywhere between 20 to 40 grams of glutamine a day, and if you're not supplying that, it will take it from somewhere else in your body. It also preserves muscle as well, glutamine. But then you have the likes of the other amino acids as well, which are important. The likes of leucine as well.
That's the main one in BCAA.
BCAA, yeah, it's one of the three. Valine and isoleucine is the other two. But leucine is the one that we're kind of concerned with, because that's one of the most used amino acids in weight training, you know, and stress. When you release stress, it uses a lot of glutamine, and it uses a lot of leucine as well. And I think people don't take enough of that, to be honest with you. I think even just making a simple change to your supplement program, even as, you know, efficient as bringing in leucine and glutamine, can make a huge difference to the look and the strength and the energy and the body that you want, obviously in the weeks that you have to get ready for that, you know. Now in my experience, the only experience I have is bodybuilding itself. I've never really done fitness, or I've never done, you know, physique or anything like that. And you know, for most of you guys in bodybuilding, it's quite different. You know, you look great for about 1 week of the year, you know, and the rest, you eat food and, you know, you just put on weight and get strong. It's kind of like there's an off season and there's an in season. You know, the off season is obviously, you know, for me it would be between January and I don't know, May, I guess. You know, then anywhere from June to, you know, October is dieting season. So supplements change quite a lot from there. Off season, I try to keep it quite simple. Protein, amino acids, BCAAs, of course glutamine and leucine are always essential for me. Then cutting becomes a little bit more complex. Cutting season. So cutting for me would be, for cutting body weight, trying to get ready for a show. This is where, you know, the point where I just try to maintain what I have and try to cut down as much fat as possible, trying to obviously retain as much muscle as I can. That's the aim of the goal for that. For me, that can take anywhere between 12 and maybe 18 weeks. So it's quite a long time, you know, and because of the show in Ireland, you see the two biggest shows are in October, so you kind of miss your whole summer, you know, doing that. That's probably the only drawback of it, you know. And then in winter, you know, you haven't got anything going and it's miserable outside in Dublin, and it's, you know, why do you do it, right? But it can take quite a while, yeah. I guess, you know, I think later down this interview we'll try to break it down a bit more into kind of what we do different from cutting to bulking.
Yes,
you know.
Yes.
Definitely.
Well, that's very interesting, and you know, if you could cut down in 12 to 18 weeks so well, that could be exactly the principle I would recommend to my clients, to cut down for basically just to make fast results. Because I think a lot of people try just like 40%, they don't see excellent results, they might not go through the threshold, and they don't keep the motivation, they lose the interest, they see, okay, it doesn't work for me. So would you be talking about the supplementation for cutting down the body fat and getting these fast results, getting weight shredded very quickly? And training wise as well, how much cardio would you recommend? How many days a week? How long? What type? What intensity?
Okay, well, everybody's different, I guess. Not one routine can be made for everybody, or not one meal plan can be made for everybody. I guess I can, I've only ever really worked with myself on this, so I suppose I can detail what I've done, and hopefully, some of you guys can, work around, obviously, how I do it. So for me, I'm a typical hard gainer, so for me it's quite hard to put on weight, especially quality muscle. But I also gain fat quite easily, so I have to be quite smart in my approach. Of course, I can't eat too many calories and I can't eat too little, because I won't gain the weight and I won't cut down for it. So I'll typically start from between average 14 to 16 weeks, right? And I'll probably break it up into 4 phases, four weeks a phase. So the first phase would be week 16 to week 12, right? Let's say. I'll start off trying to get my nutrition in plan for the first week or two. I'll try to get my weight training in sort of a structure that I can maintain. And it'll be as easy as just that for the first 2 weeks. From week 14 to week 12, I'll reintroduce cardio. Again, keep it easy. We always want to do as little as possible to get the most out of it. And we'll increase as the weeks goes on. And I mean, believe me, by the time you're 6 weeks out, you're doing quite a lot. So you want to start quite easy, in the beginning. So from week 14 to week 12, I would introduce cardio maybe 3 times a week. 20 minutes, all you need. It'll keep the body fat in check as you keep the calories in. And meal plan for me, again, I'm a hard gainer, so it's quite hard for me to put on muscle. So I need to eat maybe 5-6 meals. I need to get about 3,500 calories to start off. Okay. And I'm be roughly about 85 to 90 kilos. So I'm not sure if you guys can try to work that out in terms of what calories you guys will need, if you do have that time frame. That's week 14 to 12, was it? Yeah. That'll be the first phase. So I've introduced cardio 3 times a week. I've introduced weights, I'd say 5 times a week. Keep it at 5 times a week. Now it's only my second year, so I'm still changing things up as I progress through it, as I learn more. Then we go down to the second phase, which is week 12 to week 8. Week 9. Week 12 to week 9. Now we'll start increasing the days of cardio. I know a lot of people kind of increase their cardio sessions rather than the days. They try to keep it 3 days and maybe increase it to, let's say, 30 minutes rather than the 20 minutes in the previous phase that we had. I actually prefer to do shorter cardio and more days. For me, it just adds a bit more structure to my day. And I always feel like when I train, I eat better on that day. I don't know if you feel the same, do you?
Yes.
Yeah, and you feel like the days off, you take it a little easier. So for me, definitely keeping days, where I'm training more, I feel better and I eat better. So I increased it to about 5 days. Again, 20 minutes. It's really easy. Anybody can do 20 minutes. It's like walking your dog or anything, anything that's 20 minutes. Hiking. Commuting. It could be cycling, exactly. It could be anything different that adds 20 minutes and some sort of a burn or a sweat, that
from traffic.
You could do that. Interval training. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Try to dodge the traffic at every light. And that's one way of doing it, definitely. So that'll be week 12 to 9. I'll keep it at that for 3 or 4 weeks. I won't increase it much more from there. We're still quite far out, so there's no need to. In terms of food now for the week 12 to 9, we will keep it at, I guess we'll try to drop it about 100 calories a week. So now we'll probably be on about 3,000 calories by week 9 maybe for my weight now. Again, the aim is to try to drop about 1 pound or 2 pounds a week. But the mirror always says best. You never really go by the weight scales when you're trying to get ready for a physique show. Not necessarily. I think a lot of people are obsessed with the weight scale itself. You probably have a lot of clients, right, that are, you know, they look at the weight scales, but not necessarily the mirror.
Some of them.
Yeah, you'll get a lot everywhere. Even bodybuilders, some of the guys I know, even the juniors, a lot of those guys I know go by weight scales, and sometimes it's not the best solution for it. You know, the mirror always says best. If you can see, you know, your abs progressing as the weeks go by, you're doing something right, you know. And it's just a matter of keeping that up, really, till you get there. So again, yeah, it's still quite easy from week 12 to 9. Then we drop it in from week 9 to about week 9, week 8 to about week 5. This is where we kind of change things up again. So now we've done steady state cardio, so something like treadmill walking 20 minutes, 80% of your heart rate max, right? For the first 2 phases of this. For the third phase, it'll actually be changed completely now to high intensity training, or HIT, interval training, basically. Sprinting for 30 seconds, walking for, let's say, for the first week, a minute and a half, you know. So you want to include about a 30-second sprint, or somewhere near 90 to 95% of your heart rate every 2 minutes, you know. That's not only going to tap into your glycogen, which is your stored carbohydrates in the muscle, as well as your fat. So now you're going to 2 energy systems. So you're going through your fat and your carb systems as well. And ultimately, that's why that works so well at burning fat, is because you're tapping now into 2 systems. Whereas the lower intensity cardio really only taps into the fat. But again, as you get leaner, you have to trick your body a little bit more. So we'll start off, you know, let's say week 8, we start off, what did I do? Week 8, we start off 30 seconds sprint, followed by 2 minutes walking. You know, the second week will, again, 5 times a week. The second week will increase it 30 seconds, but drop the time that you're walking. So your heart rate stays a little higher for longer. And just keep doing that until week 5, week 4. So then by the end of week 4, you know, in regards to the cardio, you're doing 30-second sprints by, you know, 30 seconds walking. So it's really on, off, on and off. But in saying that, you know, your cardio goes down a little shorter as well. So you're only 15, 20 minutes in there, which is nice, you know, rather than bumping up a slow, steady cardio to 45 minutes or an hour, because that would be quite a long day, you know, especially if you've got weight training in the evening. And of course, I don't know if I mentioned this, but cardio will be on the same days as weight training. It won't be, you know, 1 day cardio, 1 day weight training. So it becomes quite a long day, especially if you work a job. If you don't, well then it's lucky, you know, but if you do, it becomes a long day. And then that brings us to our final phase, I guess. The last phase, the most important phase, really in the whole bodybuilding and fitness and physique and everything in that category, which will be weeks 4 to 1. Now we actually drop back in the cardio, the intense cardio. Intense cardio can be actually quite rough on your body, especially when you're trying to preserve muscle and when your calories are that low. So from the last phase that we had there, calories would be dropping about 100 a week. So we should be on about 2,500 calories, right? 4 weeks, 100 calories a week, give or take 2,600 calories. We'll be still doing that approach up until the last week of the show. So that'll drop right down for me to about 2,000 calories, which seems still quite a lot. But when you're doing cardio, which will now be introduced slow cardio again, so now we're going to bump it up to about 45 minutes, and we'll keep it at every day now, 7 days a week. So it'll be kind of a grind, you know, at the last 4 weeks. It gets pretty tough. And that's only the first week of that phase. So this is week 4. Then we'll go to week 3. Again, another 100 calories down, but we'll switch training up a little bit. We'll focus more on higher reps. Not so high, but you want to keep it no less than 12. You want to burn the muscle out. You want to burn all that carbohydrate, all that stored glycogen in it. It's very important.
Would you also deprive yourself carbohydrates? For
Yeah, you will a little bit. The calories that we're dropping will mainly be from carbohydrates. We'll always try to keep our protein high throughout the whole 16 weeks. For me, you know, at 85 to 90 kilos, I kept my protein at about 300 grams, give or take. And I always kept it about...
grams.
Yeah, 300 grams. I don't know if that seems like a lot to you or...
Well, you know, funny enough, when I met you around 4 or 5 months ago, you just finished your competition. I was like, wow, you and other my 2 friends quite inspired me, actually getting more of physique, working on. and I introduced glutamine and aminos, like branched amino acids and essential amino acids and whey protein and so on. And I gained 6 kilos in 3 months, which was great success for me.
Yeah.
And basically, I was using around 120 grams of protein for last 4 years, and I wasn't getting anywhere better. Really, my strength wasn't increasing. But now I increased protein to 200, 220, maybe even more. Yeah. And I started to gain very well. Yeah. And my strength went up. So I think I neglected the amount of protein.
Yeah, you'll find that a lot, especially if you don't weigh your foods or you don't kind of keep track of your food. A lot of people would do that, especially if your goals are to gain muscle and to lose fat, or either or. Tracking those type of things is important because you could be way off, you know. Like I'm sure for yourself, when you were getting roughly, you were saying 120 grams of protein, right? You probably thought that was enough, right, by what you were eating. But when you actually track it, you realize how little that actually is. And protein is absolutely essential. I mean, it's actually more essential when you're dieting than when you're actually trying to gain muscle. Protein's main function is really to retain the muscle. The carbohydrates is to provide energy for that muscle. But in terms of bulking up and losing weight, protein is probably the most important of the three. But carbohydrate plays probably the biggest difference in a role. By increasing carbohydrate, you're going to gain muscle. You're going to preserve protein. By decreasing carbohydrate, you're going to lose body fat and just tone up more. You know, you can't neglect either or, I guess. But protein is always kept high. You never change protein, really. Carbohydrates you change, depending on your goal. Definitely, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
very, very interesting insights. My another question is, what would you say about the metabolism of different people? Let's say some people like me, I keep all year long fairly lean. Yeah. I do a lot of cardio. I always been doing sports. Anytime I gain muscles, it's like lean muscle mass, never like bulking up with the fat. Versus people who just seem to always, even they increase muscles and strength, they always stay bulky and maybe fat, as we call it. So what would you say about these different types of metabolisms and different ways of handling fat and carbohydrates?
Again, it goes back to, everybody is different. So every meal plan and every diet is different for each individual. For someone like you would be quite different to me, for you, you would have to eat a lot to supply your energy needs and your protein needs compared to my lifestyle. Although, I am a hard gainer as well. It takes a lot of calories. Like at the moment, my off-season go anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 calories a day, between 6 and 8 meals a day. And, if I don't eat that, I lose, 2-3 pounds like that, in a day. But I also gain fat quite easily. I think in your case, you actually maintain quite a lean physique, right? Year round. Every time I see you, anyways, you're in great shape. So the problem for you probably is gaining the weight, right? Is trying to bulk out, trying to fill out. And the question was with the diet, was it? In regards to how you take your approach, is it? To gaining?
Well, basically I wanted to get this take on, people who try to lose weight. Let's say those people who don't have that fast metabolism. Is there any particular method just to help that fat burning zone?
I think what I've learned in the last 2 years of getting ready for a show is definitely to introduce cardio at some point. If you can't split it up in your day to obviously cardio in the morning and and weight training in the evening, do it after your weight training or before. It doesn't really matter. I know a lot of people say you should do it after, but to me it doesn't matter either or, as long as you're getting it in. I think it's very important to get at least 20 minutes cardio every session you do.
Yes.
Not only for the heart, of course, but to burn fat. It gets your body primed up. It gets your joints warmed up, and it's essential. To be honest, actually, for the last few weeks now, I've actually been doing cardio before my weight training rather than splitting it up or doing it after in the evenings after the weight training. It warms my joints up. I feel like I don't have to warm up as much on the machines or the free weights. My body feels better. I actually recover much faster. And you know, I'm a little more hungry after the workout as well. So for me to get more those meals in, I'm not bloated, I'm not tired, and you know, everything's kind of running smoothly. So it's nice to get that in. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, then if you do the cardio either before or after the session, would you provide yourself with the amino acids, I presume?
I would actually, in regards to supplements around my training, I don't take anything after anymore. Which is...
Why is it so?
Yeah, I know, I get that question a lot. You know, why don't you take anything after? To be honest, I don't. I'd rather get in some real food after. But I do heavily take a lot during my workouts and before my workouts. Before my workouts, I'll take all the pre-workout stuff, ingredients like, what do we have? We've got a whole lot of them. BCAAs. We'll take some glutamine, of course, some leucine. Those things will switch you up hormonally, you know, get you ready for the weights
Like
that are... L-leucine and L-glutamine, preferably, definitely. Those guys are key in switching on your body. Then we move on to energy and mental focus, you know, things like caffeine. 200 milligrams should be enough. That's about 2 cups of coffee or a caffeine pill. Probably easier caffeine pill, you know, I don't get that bloated feeling. The likes of L-tyrosine as well and L-citrulline. Those guys there are energy and mood enhancers, so they work with the brain. They power you through your workout. L-citrulline is a lactic acid buffer, so the likes of that pump feeling, you know that pump feeling you get in a workout, and you just can't do any more. That actually buffers it, so it becomes easier, and it removes the lactic acid out faster. Again, training harder, getting results faster is really the point of that.
It's like citrulline malate.
Citrulline malate, yeah. Just L-citrulline would be a little bit more pure, I guess, than the malate form. The malate form is just a bond with those two, so it doesn't break down obviously as easy. What else do we have? We have electrolytes as well. I think is absolutely essential. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody else, particularly even with the juniors that I train with, that take electrolyte powder. I'm not sure if you do or your client. Athletes do, yeah, but a lot of them don't as well. I mean, even with training with some of the more experienced guys in the scene that I train with, when I mention electrolyte powder, it doesn't faze them, you know. But it's so important because it keeps your muscles full, it keeps your joints healthy, it keeps everything moving in your body with the weight training. It just gives you more energy, you know. And it's something I've added this year that I've changed from last year, that is just so essential before a workout, and again in a workout. So keep those things then before my workout. During my workout then I'll take an intra-workout shake. So I'll have about 50 to 75 grams of carbs actually in my workout. I won't have it after. I know a lot of people do it after. I don't see the sense in it or the point. You're breaking down your muscles during your workout, not after. So, why not replenish them when you're breaking them down, To me, it just makes more sense. It's faster and you recover quicker. So I take about 50 to 75 grams of carbs, preferably either Vitargo, which is quite a popular carb source. You can find that in most shops, or cyclic dextrin. Cyclic dextrin is actually quite hard to find. The only place I've ever seen is bulk powders. I'm not sure if you should obviously shop in bulk powders.
Those,
Yeah, there's some great supplements in there. So you'll get that there in bulk powders. Then you'll get a protein as well, but you want a very broken down protein, something highly absorbable. Peptides definitely. Glutamine peptides will definitely be in there. But again, it's not as essential as something like EAAs or essential amino acids. BCAAs, of course, are important. And again, electrolyte powder. I take that even during and before. I always make sure my electrolytes are on top of things, because if one of those electrolytes are down, your energy net and your pump, they don't happen. They don't work. And if they don't work, you don't feel like you're training. You don't get that same kind of smooth groove through the training. So during my workout, 50 to 75 grams of carbs and about 20 to 30 grams of protein from amino acids. Primarily something broken down, like essential amino acids. No whey or casein. Obviously, of course, you'd be bloated.
Yeah. So what would be the main difference between EAA and BCAA, essential amino acids versus branched amino acids? Would you think essential amino acids are better just because they're more complex?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on when you're taking it, with that question. If it's something before training, I would just stick with BCAAs. The three of them are the most used aminos in the body, and they'll be used very quickly. So to allow your body to prepare itself, when you have those BCAAs inside you already. And the likes of the EAAs are best taken as a protein replacement. So something like after a workout or during a workout. Only because there's more of a range of proteins in there. There's 8 of them, I think there is, isn't there? 8? 7, yeah. So
I think 7, yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's no worries.
Yeah.
We don't need to know everything. We know Google remembers.
Google remembers, exactly. You never have a question. Google knows. But
doesn't matter if it's 7 or 8.
Yeah.
We're not gonna miss the moon.
It's the range. It's the range of them that we're trying to get at here.
Yes.
But I would keep EAAs during or after. There's no need to take that many amino acids before. As long as you cover the first 3 BCAAs, you're fine. As well as glutamine, of course. Glutamine is very important. Always glutamine.
BCAAs, there's no non-glutamine.
There's no glutamine. There's only 3 aminos in.
Pre-workouts and intra-workouts usually have glutamine.
You should, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You won't get that in many amino acid mixes or protein mixes. Glutamine will be quite low, if it is even added. And the type of glutamine as well. There's a lot of types of glutamine. If you guys can get glutamine peptides, that would be the best. It's easily digestible. Something like 80% of it actually goes in towards your bloodstream, whereas there's always a part of the protein, the amino acids, that don't get absorbed. Same with creatine. There's about 30, it could be anywhere from 30 to 50% that doesn't get absorbed. Glutamine peptides is about 80% absorbed, whereas normal glutamine, it's about 20 to 40. So there's a huge difference, definitely. Yeah.
Cool.
And it's the sake of €1 or €2 more. As far as I know, from glutamine per 100 grams. Per 100 grams, yeah, it's not much. But it makes a huge difference. Definitely, yeah.
Well, these days I've been talking to lots of people about the supplementation because, sometimes I'm concerned about my clients' results and I'm trying to recommend something that I do, and usually I recommend what I do myself.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend supplements that I don't take myself. And I've seen really good results with my glutamine peptides and BCAAs, EAAs, creatine, and all sorts of.
Yeah.
And I start to recommend to the guys, and most of the people who start to take branched amino acids in the workouts, they said they actually train longer, harder. They don't feel so fatigued.
Yeah, it's definitely true. Again, you're getting your body ready for what's coming, or what's happening. Something like weight training is very stressful on the body. It'll deplete you of all the amino acids. It'll deplete you of all the electrolytes, sodium, potassium, everything that keeps the muscle full and working, without cramping up. It's absolutely essential to get those in. And if you do get them in, you'll definitely notice the difference that it does provide. Because there's times in my year where I don't actually include any supplements at all, just to give my body a break and to change things up. And probably because I can't afford them year round, But a month or two of the year, I definitely won't be taking anything. And I definitely notice within the first 4 to 5 weeks, consuming those type of supplements again is a huge difference. It's probably the best time of my training phases, where I just feel it, so much. Everything's working, my weight's going up dramatically, my pumps are great in the gym, my energy's good, my strength's good, my joints feel great. Everything just works, so it's essential, definitely. Yeah, you need it. You think you need it. Yeah.
That's very cool, and I totally agree on that this supplementation is essential, because
it is essential.
If you want to maximize your time in the gym, you're not just gonna go and train hard and then just leave the nutrition for its sake.
Yeah.
But
in saying that, it's hard to actually train hard without having your body ready for it. I can't do it. I know there's some guys who can go in there and have great energy, regardless if they eat or not. For me, I just can't do it. I can't get the energy for it. I can't get the pump. I can't get my joints feel sore. So I couldn't train without it, is what I'm trying to say. I couldn't train without it, definitely.
Would you take also something for joints to protect them?
You know what? I used to what is it? Glucosamine, yeah, and what's the other one there?
Chondroitin.
Yeah, MSM. That's the one. Yeah. Those two, but I never really found anything from it, to be honest with you. unless you probably take them at higher dosages. But again, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You know, I tend to just warm up with the cardio, as I was saying earlier on, getting the body ready for it. You actually, most of you guys in Westwood, you know, down in Sandymount, which is the gym I mainly train in, you'll never really see me in shorts or a tank top or anything. I'm always covered up in a hoodie and trousers, and it's the reason for that is because I like to keep my body warm and my joints warm. There's no point showing off your tan or your, you know, your arms or whatever. You know, it's not you know, doesn't make sense. So you know, always train with a hoodie and a you know, trousers. It'll keep your joints warm. And you know, if you're sweating halfway through the workout, take it off. You know, because you've achieved what you've you know, went out to do by wearing the hoodie and the jumper. It's just to keep the joints warm, and that's all it is, and muscles warm. You know, and ever since I've been doing that, my joints don't hurt as much. My workouts are much more productive, and you know, my weights feel much better. So wear it. Definitely makes a difference.
Well, Kevin, we spoke a lot about the supplementation and your in-depth details about cutting phase of your training. Now, I am very much focused on how to get most value to my clients, to mostly help them to lose weight. So obviously I found out that not many people are willing to train so much, doing the 5 days a week muscle building, 3 to 5 times a week the cardio. Well, I do the same myself. I train 5-6 times a week, twice a day usually, sometimes 3 times, and I'm cycling to work and from work. Actually sprinting sometimes. But how to organize this for someone? What's the minimum you recommend for someone to build muscle and in the same time cutting the fat? Because we know the muscle building is metabolically expensive.
Absolutely.
Resistance training is number one for weight loss.
Absolutely.
So what would you be recommending, like minimum and optimal ratios between those?
To be honest, minimum, you know, I would keep it at about 3 times a week. And I would actually just keep weights, to be honest with you, weight training, resistance training. Again, like you said earlier, it burns the most calories of any form of exercise. I found anyways. It not only retains muscle, not only builds it, but it also burns fat as well. Something that cardio can't do. Cardio, although it may burn fat, it won't actually build muscle itself. So if there is ever, you know, an option in your week where you might think, okay, I might just skip the weights today for cardio, I really wouldn't. I wouldn't suggest it. You get a lot better workout from weights. Even if you cut the time in half, you know, 30 minutes is still something, you know. So as far as the minimum goes, you're looking at 3 to 4 times a week. It'll cover every body part. It won't leave you overstressed. I won't leave you, you know, doing 2 hours a day to catch up, you know, on a 3 day a week
session?
Well, if you're doing 3 days a week, you know, you're probably going to be somewhere between an hour and a half workout, right? I mean, you're trying to get all those muscle groups in 3 days, and it's quite hard to do that. Whereas 4 days, you know, you can easily maintain it in about an hour and 15. I mean, that's what I do, but I go in there, I warm up. That includes the warm up, by the way, guys, and the cool down, the stretching. So, you know, your actual weight training time is about 45 to 50 minutes, you know. I would keep it minimum at 4. You know, you can do 3 as well, but I think 4 is kind of where you want to start at. And you know, in saying that, like my off season, when I'm trying to build muscle and even just maintain my body fat, I'll only do 4 or 5 days a week, and that's it. I mean, you know, the rest of my week is pretty much free. Of course, I'll try to get some cardio in there as well. You know, either before or after. At the moment, I'm doing before, just to switch things up, warm up my body, warm up my joints. But again, even that takes me about an hour and 20. An hour for the weights, 20 for the cardio. You know, and I keep it at 4 to 5 times a week. Because so it's definitely doable.
Sometimes, well, it was quite in a past used to be believed not to do more than 65 minutes of weights. But now when I heard Charles Poliquin, which is like father of strength and conditioning,
he's very smart.
He said like a 1.5 hour, no matter what, it's still giving good results. They're talking about cortisol and stress levels and dropping on testosterone. So what do you think about long sessions, like up to 2 hours versus 1 hour?
You know, I actually used to believe that as well, and I think it's actually shorter than 65 minutes. I think it's anywhere after 45 minutes, the levels of cortisol to testosterone, you know, increase dramatically. Testosterone, of course, you guys want to keep high. It's going to build muscle, preserve it, and keep your body fat in check. Cortisol is pretty much the complete opposite. It's going to destroy and use muscle as energy, and it's going to retain body fat as a survival tool. So about after 45 minutes, those kind of shift dramatically. So testosterone's now dropping, cortisol's now rising. So what we believe, you know. But I mean, in my 2 years of training, you know, my training it's never really been 45 minutes, to be honest with you. It's always been an hour to an hour 20, right up to 2 hours, you know, in getting ready for a show. And if anything, I mean, I lean out more doing that, you know. And I don't know, for me, it makes sense. It's fine for me. You know, I mean, everybody's different. Some people can't handle 2 hours training, and, you know, some people can, you know. And like I couldn't do a 30-minute session. It just, for me, it wouldn't feel enough.
Yeah.
You know, but some people love the 30-minute sessions, 20-minute sessions, and for them it's more than enough for a day. You know, so everybody's different, you know.
Well, then if you have the supplementation,
yeah, it's going to help you a little bit, but not dramatically. You know, it's not a magic pill, you know, you take and, you know, everybody, you know, it gets results.
Yeah.
It helps, but it only helps about 10%, 5%.
Okay.
And you know, in saying that, it's still pretty good. I wouldn't train without it. I always make sure I'm stocked up on all my supplements. I haven't got the energy for it otherwise, or the focus to power through my sessions. But yeah, pretty much answers that question, doesn't it?
Kev, you actually mentioned something very interesting about cortisol.
And
that we will preserve the fat. So this is actually quite a huge and very important factor. We could actually cover the stress and weight gain.
Yeah.
Versus like how we actually can change that body who someone is keeping that body fat for decades and never really tap into it. And when we actually analyze their lifestyle, they experience lots of stress. They have addictive behavior. They treat themselves with the sweets and all sorts of foods. So how would you think about that stress factor and weight gain?
Well, definitely stress is linked obviously with high cortisol as well. So obviously the side effects of that would be weight gain, low testosterone levels. You know, it'd be hard to actually retain muscle itself. Energy levels would be low, of course, because cortisol actually uses a lot of carbohydrates just to maintain. Again, it's a survival hormone. So it's going to use everything in your favor to reduce that stress. Immune system down, yeah, everything, you know. Weight gain and the immune system actually probably be the two key things that cortisol affects massively. And cortisol can click within minutes, you know. It can change you completely within minutes. As I'm sure you probably know yourself, you get stressed and a minute later, you know, you're freaking out.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And it's nothing worse than having that, you know. It can completely change the rest of your day. And it's that powerful, you know. Cortisol is that powerful that it can change everything from, you know, how you train, your training efficiency and how effective your training is. And for some people who do get stressed like that, again, you're going to have to change your whole training and your whole nutrition around that. For someone who gets stressed quite easily, you know, I actually wouldn't keep it training for more than 45 minutes to an hour, simply because of that. Because your body's so used to stressing so easily, there's no point doing any more than that. And then obviously trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle. You know, cortisol can obviously increase from bad, you know, eating habits as well. So changing those two things will lower cortisol and stress. But you should be able to keep stress in check from that alone, you know. Weight training, I always find weight training a stress reliever for me. You know, sometimes I'm stressed and I go in there and I feel great after. I don't know about you. I mean, do you feel the same? Yeah. You always feel better. You know.
I love it.
Yeah, you always feel better.
Sometimes we have those days where we don't feel like to train.
Yeah.
That's why I listen motivational audios or videos.
Yeah.
I remember once I was driving and I thought I should be doing training, but I didn't feel like my energy wasn't right. I think I was feeling a little overtrained.
Yeah.
But then I was listening to Arnold Schwarzenegger motivational talk.
He's got loads
and I was driving, I was nearly passing the gym. I just turned in, get a 1 hour workout. I felt better. My day felt better. You do.
It makes a big difference to your day, I think. And you know, we'll all go through tough times as well with work or personal issues, you know. And if you can make that hour, that 40 minutes time to work out, I guarantee you'll feel better from it. You can only feel better. I mean, you can't feel worse, right? You know, and you know, it can be tough as well to grind through that session sometimes when you have so much thoughts in your head, you know. And believe me, you know, I go through those times as well when I'm getting ready for a show. and I don't have the luxury of skipping the sessions. You know, I have to be in there twice a day, you know, almost every day. And you know, I get stressed as well. I have problems and issues as well that I have to deal with on a weekly basis, whether it's work or personal. But I can tell you, I always feel better after it. Always do. It just makes my day more productive. You know, I'm more awake, I'm more alert, and you know, for me, it's better. It's a stress reliever. So you know, anybody you know has a lot of stress, weight training can definitely help. Yeah.
So that is part of the mindset that it has to be done.
Well, for me, it does. I mean, only because, you know, if I'm getting ready for a show, I have to do it. There's no other option out of it. You know, because I've got people as well that I work with, you know, that I need to be there for as well. And it's not just myself. My job counts in it as well. You know, I haven't got the luxury of taking an easy day out when it comes into competition mode. But again, saying that, you know, I always feel better from it. So, you know, what can you do, right? You always feel better, and that's the main thing. You know, if you don't enjoy it when you do it, what's the point of doing it?
Yeah,
I think that's the key in that. You know, if you don't enjoy it, there's no point doing it. You know, but again, you know, you feel better from it. So, you know, there's that as well. What else have we touched on?
Kev, last time before we start recording today, you mentioned that you hate to be disorganized.
I hate to be disorganized, yeah. I always have a structured week, always. With training and with, you know, with work itself, I work 9 to 6, you know, so, and in that job I work with USN as a brand ambassador. So I'm meeting clients on a weekly basis, you know, and I have a habit of fidgeting. I always do it. I don't know. Even in work, I do it. Except with a pen or something.
Well, I have the pen.
You have the pen, yeah. Yeah. So I always need structure in my day. I'll do, you know, food tastings, supplement meetings with customers, with people. So I could be working weekends, weekdays. So it's nice to have that week planned out for me. So I know when I'm going to the gym. I know when my day ends from work. I know my meals are all done for me. And for me, I usually get my meals done. I cook it first thing in the morning, you know. I wake up an extra half an hour early. But it makes my whole day more productive because I'm not chasing up going to the shop. And actually, I save time by doing that, you know.
Money as well.
Yeah, money as well. Yeah, it's massively. Like, I could easily spend 20, 30 euro on a day's food going out and getting that food, or 5 or 10 euro, you know, at home.
And you know what's in it.
And you know what's in it. Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah, you know what's in it because you make it yourself. So for me, structure is massive for me. Yeah, I always have a structured week. I mean, I know you've been trying to get us out here now to do this video for a while, but
Yes.
you know, of course, us two have such busy lives that, you know, it's hard to get us in here for 2 hours, 3 hours, you know, have a talk for you guys and kind of show us what we do, you know, how we do it. So that took us about a month or 2 months, right?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm extremely busy now in January. People want to train.
Yeah, you know.
So we got plenty of hours. I'd say 50 plus hours in the gym working. So it's been extremely busy month for me, but I'm still trying to run my business.
Yeah, you know.
Create content and do all sorts of things, you know.
Yeah.
So it's been a very productive year, and I still do more sessions. So
Yeah.
I'm actually in the gym for a good 60 hours a week.
Yeah, you have a long day, I know. Even from myself being in there. I mean, I see him every day, morning and night. You know, I almost thought he slept in the gym, you know. That's how long he's there for. But you're there all day, man, every day.
Well,
it's tough for you.
It's not the worst.
I thought it was tough for me. It's tough for you.
It's not the worst place to spend time.
No, it's good, yeah.
When I look at my lifestyle, I always think about that I'm lucky one. I don't have the job where I have to just fill in the target and being pressurized. Actually, in my job, I feel I have a lot of freedom. There's music running all the time. There's all sorts of people I can talk to and very interesting people. And most of my clients are also very interesting people to be around. So I really enjoy that atmosphere. So it drives me only forward.
Yeah. So that's a great thing about being a personal trainer. You know, you interact with the clients, you know, and you build kind of a relationship as well with them. And it makes your job fun, you know. I remember when I was a personal trainer, that was one of the best things about it was the freedom of it. You know, you're doing something you love, and not everybody can do that. You know, and it's so laid back as well. And you know, the Sandyman gym is fantastic for that because open space, there's always music playing.
Not too busy.
You know, the staff are friendly there as well. The all the gym goers in there are friendly, and it's just a nice little environment. You know, even for me to train in. You know, but for you work in there, so it's even better for you. So yeah,
the headphones on. Space, focus.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. definitely.
I never seen you with the headphones. So how do you?
No, I don't know. I mean, I do wear headphones now, but
you do. I see. Sorry.
You know,
I do remember you with the headphones.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
all the time, but I do.
Not all the time, but sometimes I don't have. I guess I'm just tired of listening to the same music. I just have the same playlist, you know. And sometimes you get bored. I haven't got the time to be, you know, downloading music before the gym in my car. So you know, sometimes I just get bored of it. I like the music in Sandyman as well. It's always good, you know. It's good. Good beats in it, good music. The type of music as well is nice. You know, either house, pop, or what is it, trance. A lot of mix of music. So. Exercise music, and that's the main thing. Yeah. So I don't need my headphones all the time. Sometimes I do if I'm feeling a little tired or I don't have the energy. It's been a long day in work. Of course, it's Dublin, so it's always miserable out as well. So that doesn't help either. Yeah, you know, so those things affect you as well. But you know, sometimes you have to bring the headphones, and sometimes you don't. You know, if I know you're in there, I don't, because I just end up talking anyways. I never even have the headphones on, so there's no point even bringing them. Yeah, the headphones definitely help. Music definitely helps. Sometimes, unless your gym has good music. You know, Westwood does, so it's good. Some gyms don't have music, so you know, it depends kind of where you are.
Listen, Kevin, just before we wrap it up, would you have like the main tip or main idea for our listeners, viewers, just to get them something, to realize something?
In terms of their training, or in terms of
training, mindset, nutrition, and achieving the goals, especially because I think everybody knows what needs to be done, but not everybody are willing to sacrifice enough and put enough effort to see the results. So what would be the main kind of tip?
Main, it's hard to describe just the main one. I mean, there's a few main ones that I think everybody should try to introduce.
Like rules,
yeah.
So
you know,
commandments.
Let's say, you know, adding structure to your week definitely helps. Knowing, you know, what days you're going to train on, and so you don't make plans on those days. Even if it's only 3 times or 4 times a week, like I mean, it's 3 or 4 times a week. It's an hour a day. I mean, you could watch TV or something for that hour, you know. I mean, and it flies, you know, it does fly. So even 4 times a week makes a huge difference. So I would definitely say try to get in the gym 3 or 4 times a week, even if it's just weights. Actually, preferably just weights. You can obviously do a little bit of cardio, warm up on. But definitely get that in. You know, for anybody that's not doing that now, try to start with 3 or 4 times a week. The next thing as well is you know, just for anybody that's not doing it at the moment, try to get your calories. Try to track your calories. Try to look at your nutrition labels, see what you're getting in at the moment, and compare to what you thought you were getting in. Like you were saying, you know, earlier on with Otto here, you were getting 120 grams of protein, but you probably thought you were getting a lot more, right, from your food.
No, I was thinking that's enough.
Oh, you were thinking that's enough? Oh, I thought you said you were thinking you got a lot more.
No.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking that was enough. I was surprised because even some people say like we recycle amino acids. So you know, what I learned in the last couple of months is not to just believe everything which is shared, like a new scientist said and this person said. Yeah. I actually start to be more skeptical about all these new fancy things going on, and you know, I just really think that we should actually keep common sense and
that's actually
check it for ourselves.
Yeah, that actually brings me to another point now after that, where you should try to experiment it for yourself. Try it yourself, see what works and what doesn't work. Like I said earlier, everybody is different in terms of training and in terms of nutrition, and the only way you're going to find if it works for you is if you try it yourself. An example of this, really, to be honest, would be, for me, it would be cardio. I feel better on steady state cardio, likes of walking on a treadmill, maybe at an incline, or hill walking, mountain climbing, anything like that. That's not too stressful than sprinting. I actually feel if I sprint, I just get stressed and I actually retain more fat. See, I wouldn't have known that now, because you know, you probably know yourself as a personal trainer. A lot of studies show that interval training seems to be the way to go, right? Yeah, and it is. You know, it's still great, but for me, I get better results off steady state walking. So again, the point there is experiment it for yourself, see what works for you, and change it up based on that, really. Yeah. They're my 3 main points. I'm sure I have about 5 other points as well, but you know, when you're thinking it on the spot, you know, it's what else is there to add? Anything else you want to add on that? Anything else you feel like, even yourself would add to people?
Well, my main tip for my clients would be to keep that determination, dedication, motivation, to be able to go there with a self-driven, excited type of attitude, like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes we just get into the mediocre levels of our performance, and we not operating at our maximum potential, and basically that's why I set up the company with the name Go to Max Lifestyle, because it's never just one thing in life. It's so holistic approach. Nutrition plays a huge role on your energy levels, your immune system, your focus, your physical energy, your exercise, your challenges to cope with the stress of the life, so you actually don't get sick. You have a strong immune system, you have self-confidence, physical, emotional, and mental. And that also contribution, productivity, to really be part of the society, part of our community, and contribute with our best skills. And I know everybody has best skills, so I would say to our listeners to really find your skills, find your talents, and go to the max. Life's too short to waste it.
And I think a lot of people as well, when they're first starting off in training, I know I was myself about 3 years ago, I think it was, when I was 20, I think 19. You see a lot of the big people in the gym and people who are in great shape, and you think that kind of happens over the few weeks. You think, this guy's probably just been training a few weeks, he looks great, he's fantastic shape. But what you have to realize is these guys have been training for quite a long time. I mean, I've been doing this 2 years, almost 3 years now, and I'm not even where I want to be. Hopefully another 3 or 4 years I will be. But that's, work of 7 years. But for somebody, that's in a gym that might just see me or see you, you think that might just be a year's work, and it's unmotivating when you find out that how long it actually takes for them to get ready like that. So always try to keep motivation high. Goals don't just happen overnight, they happen over time. And as long as you maintain it every week, you'll get there. You'll definitely get there. We're all beginners at once. I was a beginner. I didn't even know how to pick up a curl of weight, at one point in my life, and there's people like that now. But even all you guys down in Westwood, Sandymount, if you ever have any questions, just come up to me or Otto. We're more than happy to help. Even if I look pissed off or angry, with the headphones, believe me, it's just the weights. I'm not actually like that. Me and Otto talk all day. We're friendly. Just come and ask us anything. Honestly, we love nutrition. We love health. Everything fitness related. So we always appreciate people coming up and asking us. Definitely.
We like that.
We love that. We do that all day. We talk all day about it. That's why we try to organize this video for you guys today.
Well, there is a bunch of interesting people coming there. It's really like a community as well, where we share information, we encourage each other. So what I like about the Sunday Mall is not too huge, but there's certain people, they coming there for a couple of years, and it's making friendships, and we are the same, on the same path. We basically
we all have the same goal. We all have the same goal: build muscle, tone up, and lose weight. It's just all the same thing. That's it. Everybody has the same goal, so it's great when you're in there and you're talking about it, and everybody has the same goal. So it's awesome. And hopefully me and Otto can do another video for you guys. Hopefully if you guys have any questions, obviously go to his website. What's the website again?
GoToMaxLifestyle.com.
Go to Max. Ask us questions. We can be a little bit more to the point next time, I guess.
How can people contact you? Do you have
to be honest, I actually, I've never really had any interest in doing that, video or YouTube or any sort of seminars. I will probably be doing it now over the next year. More of a day in the life and meeting physique people, bodybuilders, all fitness related, and see how they do their approach, rather than just myself. I don't think anybody in Ireland is really doing that at the moment, and I think it'd be different, but it'd be exciting to see. I know if I was looking at a YouTuber, I'd love to see kind of day in the lives of other people. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm sure you'd like to see other people, how they do their days, how they train, whether it's for a show or for a sport. So hopefully down the line, 6 months to a year, maybe I'll do it. Down the line, but as for now, just contact Otto. He's the man here. You know, he's the man. So if you have any questions, contact him. And next time we do a video, hopefully we can get those questions answered.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
Listen, Kev, thank you for all your valuable information and insights. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, it was cool. It's the first time doing a video now. It was cool. Yeah, it was exciting.
Definitely repeat it again. Okay?
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll do some. Hopefully, get you guys' questions answered and stuff. More to the point,
I
really.
will come definitely with more questions.
Yeah. Today was kind of just a broad range of
there's
stuff.
So much we can talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, folks.
Awesome.
So, wishing you all the best.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. Bye bye.